like watching
You don't like
E! And all this stuff.
Is it because of your experience? Like different channels out there are, they have reality shows. Did you have a bad experience with a reality show?
Well, everyone knows I had a reality show, and it was it was an experience that I learned from, and I don't regret anything, and it was cool. But I feel the biggest problem with kids and society and people, and not blaming it on reality television, but people want to grow up to be, they don't want to learn anything new. They feel that they're comfortable with where they're at, and that's sort of like, I think reality shows kind of take that away.
Do you find out with YouTube and channels like that, because people think they can get their 15 seconds or 15 minutes of fame on?
Well, yeah, YouTube is, there's a good and bad with everything.
Right.
So yeah, YouTube is, you can find good and you can find bad. I mean, it all depends on what you want. I just think that, there's some good stuff you can find on YouTube,
I know, when I'm up at 3 in the morning, it's because I'm on YouTube.
But usually people aren't on YouTube to find something educational. They're trying to find something to crack their asses up before they hit the bed.
Exactly. All right, this is from X Anthony Otherway XX Pam. So it's not an X-rated email. How did you decide to have every song on the record to be upbeat and positive?
Well, I think that kind of is a reflection of who I am right now. It's just naturally gonna, I don't know, it's just when it comes to music, I guess I associate music with being sort of a positive thing. When I'm writing my screenplays, I'm writing dark, twisted stuff, so it's strange.
It's a different place.
Yeah.
How many songs didn't make it to the album because there's always like the ones that are on editing floor that, possibly could make it.
Well, there
album?
There might have been 10 songs that didn't make it, and but they're out there.
But
they're out there floating around on torrent sites and stuff like that. Oh, I know about torrent sites because I'm a geek.
So you know about that?
Yes, I know.
Did you put it out there?
Just letting you know, I know.
This is from Trina Aragon via Facebook. Of course, these are all Twitter and Facebook questions. Since you were the youngest member of BSB, which member were you closest and who gave you the most inspiration and support, kind of like a mentor? And now that you're older, who are you closer to and who gives you inspiration now?
I still get I learn something from the guys every day. Each individual person has sort of, in a way, become a brother of mine that, older brothers that have taught me. When I was younger, Brian sort of took me under his wing and watched over me when I was out on the road, a little younger, and my mother and father couldn't be out there. And
warning you about the girls.
Yeah, Brian wasn't necessarily into that.
Yeah.
So and then you have Howie who is he's really smart with numbers. Both of them are really smart with numbers and business, and so. But he's a little bit more free-spirited, so we always have fun. And AJ always teaches me what not to do. But I can say the same. He can say the same thing for me.
See, I think he would be cool to party with. I think AJ's like that friend that when you're in a bad mood, AJ would take you out and you'd have a good time.
You gotta watch him. You gotta watch. No, he back in the day he might have been, and he's still fun. I mean, he's a geek like me.
And who would you say some of your mentors are right now? Maybe not just Backstreet Boys, but
well,
other
and I
mentors.
forgot to mention Kevin, who really is probably the most influential person in the entire band to me, due to the fact that, he was a little harder on me when I was younger, but he also was, I think, the one that cared the most of my well-being. I'm not taking away from the other guys, but he had given me a book, which sort of later on down the line, when I was going through a lot of trouble, I pulled it out of the shelf, and he gave it to me 3 years before I even read the book, and it was a positive sort of self-help book that helped me.
I wanted to wax his eyebrows though sometimes.
I know everyone says that.
I'm sorry, just had to put it out there. The poster's on my wall. All right, if you could have a superpower, what would you be? Another Twitter question.
Ooh, there's ghosts in here.
There are ghosts in our secret hideout that no one knows.
And the lights go out.
Yeah.
And then you hear screams. That'll be fun.
And then I deliver my
baby.
baby.
What was the question again?
No, okay. What kind of superpower? You need to have a superpower if we have ghosts in here.
I know. So what kind of superpower do I want?
Would you have? Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'd have the ability to see through clothing.
That's a good superpower.
Or the walls. So
Exactly.
see who the hell is making noise while we're filming.
People might be able to hear that. All right, now, what's an embarrassing moment you've had on tour? Whether if it's with the boys or maybe something while you've been, maybe tonight. Was there a moment? I mean, you had a wardrobe malfunction, kind of.
Well, no, it wasn't
I'm
really.
just
No, it wasn't a wardrobe malfunction, but it was a very awkward moment. If
Was
you were there.
was anything pierced? Is anything pierced that we
No,
don't know
I used
about?
to have a pierced nipple.
Yeah.
2 pierced nipples.
I thought you did, but
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
it's fine. It's different. And how much ink? Do you have any ink that I don't?
No, I have ink. Yeah,
Yeah, but
I
how
have,
much?
I
You
got
can show it off, come on.
quite a bit, of ink.
Show off your T-shirt.
But-
That's what the girl. Nobody wants to look at me. I could leave and
But
they could just.
but they're the same old tattoos. These girls have seen it forever.
But they like to see it again.
See?
Is that
Same
how old?
stuff.
How old are they?
Pretty old.
When is
About
it
as old as
not
me.
time? Are you not addicted to getting ink, or
I used to be more addicted to getting ink. There's a part of me that wants to get rid of them all.
I couldn't do it?
And, but then who knows? I might get wild someday and start tatting myself up again.
What's your favorite part of touring solo? And this is from Aqua Chica. Thank you, Aqua Chica.
Favorite part about touring solo, I think it's just being able to perform your own songs, and you have a voice that's very passionate about the music that you write and the subjects that you're singing. I'm not saying that we didn't have songs like that, but this album in particular, I've poured my heart into it. So when I'm on stage and I'm singing it, I really feel it, and there's subject to substance behind the subject.
I know you all wish you were this close, but this is how close we are. Anyway, let's talk about the Canadian fans and how much you love Canadian fans, because we know you love Canada, and we want to hook you up with a real estate agent here to get you a condo here so you can spend some time.
No, I know.
You love Canada.
I do. Actually, I like Toronto, but I like the northern areas where there's like some what do you call them?
Bears?
No, besides the bears, where there's like you don't call them
Moose?
cabins here. You call them
cottages?
cottages.
Who took you up to a cottage? Did Sean take you to a cottage, or some people?
No,
take you to a
a
cottage?
long time ago when I was stomping around Toronto by myself. This is like in between our somewhere around my Now or Never solo album. I had gone up and was looking for places to live.
Do you know where?
in Canada?
Would be
Mississauga? Is that-
Muskoka.
Muskoka.
There we go, Muskoka. That's
Muskoka.
a lot of celebrities live out in Muskoka,
Yeah.
and we leave you alone out there. Would you fish?
I'd
Could we
fish.
catch you? Could we catch you fishing?
Yeah, you'd see me
Really?
out there on a boat
Oh my God, with no
By
top.
myself.
With no top on.
with no top on. Yes.
That's what the women want. What are your top 3 favorite things or songs on your iPod right now?
Listening a lot to Deadmau5 right now, mainly because I have starting to develop like a passion for like dance music.
Canadian.
Well, yeah, he's Canadian,
Yeah.
so but I think it's really the cool thing that I like about it, and like there's other guys out there too that do that type of music, but it doesn't seem like there's necessarily a structure that is needed for this. You can have a 7-minute long song, or you can have whatever, and it's I like spinning every now and then at like clubs. Me and the boys will be on tour, and then we'll go do like after show parties, and I'll just go spin just for the hell of it. I'll play other people's music, but I'm thinking about actually writing my own music to sort of just play in the clubs.
And Deadmau5 has like some anonymity because nobody really knows who he is because he has a costume. Do you ever wish that you had that, or you kind of, is there a part of you that likes the attention, but then sometimes you want?
Well, the reason I would be doing that because you don't sing on the songs necessarily. You don't have to, so it would give me some sort of anonymity in the sense that he has the same way that he has.
Where's the craziest place you've been approached where people are like, hey, I know you?
Oh,
Or maybe the oddest where someone hasn't figured out
No,
who you were.
I'll tell you. No, check this out. This is funny. So I went to a nail salon with my girlfriend.
Let me see your nails. Do you get pedis
They're
all
bad
the time?
now. I did them again.
Okay, yeah, he's biting
But
his
I
nails.
went to a freaking nail salon and I got a mani-pedi. And anyways, so I got noticed by the people in there sitting there getting my feet done.
And you're getting like all
it was
the...
here in Toronto. It was we were doing the WBFF show and then I'm sitting there and people kept coming in and out, and these girls are like taking pictures while I got these things in between my toes and stuff.
And while you have dead skin, they're peeling off dead skin.
It was so messed up. bad place to have it done.
One of your favorite places here too, I think you told me in the past, a restaurant place called Fresh.
Oh, I love Fresh. I love that. Honestly, we've gone there twice since I've been here. I've been here 3 days.
Do you avoid like red meat? Are you a vegetarian type of guy?
I really don't like red meat. I don't like it at all. I just don't like the way it makes me feel, and I try to stay away from chicken and turkey as well. I eat fish. I like fish, but for the most part, I'm trying to get even more into vegetarian than I already have been. On tour when we were just with the new kids for about 3 weeks, I was doing vegetarian pretty much all the time, and I hadn't eaten like any meat. So but I felt great, and it's definitely an experience. And you could read a book called The China Study, the same book that Bill Clinton read, and changed his entire diet and health, which was
cool.
great.
We have more questions from iVillage.ca from Facebook and Twitter. Do you have some questions? Thank you. All right. What advice would you give to someone going through a hard time?
You hear that?
I
was supposed to set my phone off.
That's awesome.
We don't buy no drinks at the bar.
Who is it? Answer it. Let's find out who it is.
No, I really don't want to answer that person.
Oh, okay. And if you're watching, too bad. Nick just totally blocked your call.
Sorry.
And suck it. All right, so this is from Mandy. What advice would you give someone going through a hard time right now? Because you've had hard times, and you've gotten through it.
Yeah, I actually have a friend of mine who, the same book that Kevin had given me, which was sort of a positive thinking book. It was called The Power of Positive Thinking.
Oh, I have that, yeah.
And it's an older book, but I gave it to him, and so he read the book, and he was dealing with a sickness in his family, and he sort of fought depression and all the negative stuff that was going on, and it was honestly an extreme circumstance. And he got in the gym, he did cardio every day, he was like working out. So it is a proven fact that if you do cardio, that it releases certain endorphins into your body, which help you to get over depression.
And you're on a natural high. Right?
Well, yes, it can help combat depression, and so stay in the gym, stay active, read books, change your thought process. You could put on music, put on positive music. You could put on a Nick Carter record.
Take it off, yeah.
Take it off, baby.
Throw it up. Now this is from Kat. Would BSB be on Glee? Would you personally go on Glee, or would the boys go on Glee? Is it a show that you like to watch? Some people love it, or people,
Yeah, it's cool. It's really interesting show. I think people are sort of obsessed with it. Again, it's great. It really is. I think it's a way that you can use older people's songs, songs that have been around forever and people aren't listening to anymore. It's a good way to sort of rekindle those special songs. So if they ever want to put us on Glee, and I think we got some good songs.
Is there another show that you could see yourself going on, like a CSI or something like that? Or is the movie? Is there a movie that you'd like to be on? Like, would you want it to be in Colin Farrell's Fright Night or something like that? You said you've twisted.
Yeah, honestly, I like war movies. If I was going to act, I want to be acting in war movies, period pieces.
Would you put on like a phony UK accent, though? Can you do one?
No, I can't do that. I'm not that good in that. It's horrible. Hello, mate.
Is that Australian?
I sound like a freaking gecko.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you do.
But I could work on it.
You could.
Something I could work on.
You'd have to get a coach or something like that.
Basically, it's all about learning.
Okay, this is from. Apparently, we've got people in Portugal, Brazil, Netherlands, live on our iChat. So they want you to give a little shout out, maybe below a kiss or something.
Were
I
they?
don't know. Brazil, Portugal, and the Netherlands.
Brazil, Portugal, and the Netherlands. And what's the names?
And this is a whole list of people. So
okay.
Yeah.
It's the whole list of people from there. How you doing?
Let's go back to positive. That positive book you're talking about, and your buddy that you helped get through stuff. Is that when you were losing weight? Is that you were going through a tough time, and when you were going to the gym, did you find that you as you were shedding the pounds, you were like wiping away kind of the bad stuff, like the bad karma and all that?
Well, the one thing that I think hurts people is that it's themselves. Mm-hmm. So
doesn't Radiohead sing a song? You do it to yourself.
Basically, yeah. So it's never really about the outside world. It's about you battling your own demons or your own mind. And you know, for me, doing all the things that I had said before was very important. But then also, you know, going to a therapist. I went to therapy and was able to come to terms, not with having someone say, you know, you're crazy, you know, and you need medicine, because it never was that. It was like, it was sort of, you go and you talk to someone and you just kind of like spill everything out, and then what happens is that you have like this, you know, come to sort of situation, and then you sort of realize yourself of all the unconscious behaviors that have been programmed in you since you were
hurting
little.
you or hurting
Exactly.
people around you. And
Yeah.
I think so, you know, I thank you for being honest about going to the therapist, because a lot of people, you can't sometimes go to your family. You need that outsider to say, hey, looking on the outside, telling you what's going on in your life, and this is not right, and giving you a path. This is the right direction.
Completely.
Maybe,
You should, you know, sometimes it is better to speak with other people besides your family, you know, depending on how your household was like when you were raised.
Right. Now, do you feel, as a celebrity, this is from Andrea B9, who sent us a tweet, is it your duty to bring attention to important issues? You know how some celebrities, they step up on their soapboxes and they own a charity, they own something. Is there something that you could say that you support?
Well, I think one of the things that we have a lot of people, fortunately, around the world who are watching us, and I don't know if they necessarily look up to us, but if we say something or sing something, you know, it might strike a chord somewhere. So it's not like I go out of my way to be, because no one wants to be preached to, and no one wants to be told to do something, you know. So I think actions always speak louder than words, and I think it's about being smart about what you choose, because a lot of celebrities just try to go overboard and do everything.
And they try and teach people, and I think people get offended.
It's about finding something that definitely hits a chord with you. And recently I was kind of upset over I was on tour, but the natural like energy, and I feel like we have this ability to, instead of, I don't want to get all political on you guys, but
go for it.
Natural resources of energy,
right?
And find we have them, you know, instead of or alternative sources of energy, like solar power or whatever it is, wind power.
Yeah.
And we have this technology, and we're still living in the prehistoric age, you know, and
you could go to
using gas, and it's causing all the emissions and stuff. So I was very active when it came to the ocean and dolphins and just the ocean itself, the bleaching of the coral reefs and all that. And I had done some stuff for that and worked on it. But then I had started developing this new passion for that. So I actually had these shoes on tour that I'd been wearing for 2-3 years. I loved them. They were called Spizikes. And I got them dirty, and they were the dirtiest and crappiest looking shoes ever. And I wore them everywhere, and I tried to clean them one time. And then, so anyways, at the end of the tour, I got them all signed by myself or the boys in the New Kids on the Block. So we all signed these shoes. Yeah. And so I'm going to auction them, and I'm going to do a sort of, all the money will go to some sort like attention to
environmental charity or something.
Alternative resources of energy, and I want to call it Nick's Dirty Kicks. So it sort
That's
of,
great.
So it sort of represents why they are so dirty. I mean, yes, I am dirty, but you know.
You shower. He's not. Yeah, he's clean. He's clean. Yeah. Here, we have another question, so I'll switch clipboards here in our secret location. Okay, this.
So you'll see those things on mine, probably maybe on eBay or something.
On eBay. If you could live off the grid, would you live off the grid? Because in Muskoka, where you were looking, there's a lot of cottages where they've got solar, wind power, and no one would find you, Nick.
That would be fun. You know, it's all about giving the government controls it, and states, you know, but the government controls it, and all they have to do is just feed the people the resources.
And I mean, I don't want to get on my soapbox, but I know like solar panels, I looked into it, like it's just simple things, but it's so expensive, people can't afford it. And it's simple things that people can make a difference, or the hybrid cars, which are crazy expensive. Yeah. Do you drive a hybrid or?
Yeah, we have a Prius.
So that's right. See, you're doing something. It's doing something. Mm-hmm. Okay, so again, this is live. It's with Nick Carter. We're on iVillage.ca, Facebook, Twitter. Follow us. Send us your questions. In which country do you have the craziest fans? And this is Marv85.
I thought it said Argentina for a second, because they're pretty crazy in Argentina.
Are they really? Okay.
No, that I don't want to call them crazy, because I call it passionate.
That's
love.
a good, yeah, passionate.
They're just passionate, and sometimes they can't control themselves.
And is that in Argentina?
So you might want to call them crazy.
Okay.
Hey, buddy. Or girl. What is it? Guy or girl?
Random.
Okay, it's girl. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you.
Random dog.
Don't get mad.
This is how intimate it is. We just
Look
have
at that. You just want
that
to
roll
in.
So this is
give
Maggie.
Her a microphone.
She's hitting on Nick Carter. Is what's happening. She wants your love.
What's up?
And now she's out of the shot. Her 15 seconds of fame is up.
That's awesome.
She's never going to wash her coat again. You know that.
That's awesome.
That's what's going to happen. I'm never going to wash my...
It's so funny.
So yeah, you know what? You were reading ahead of me. Lots of Chilean fans, lots of fans. So big hello to everyone in Chile.
Yeah, no, honestly, I can't say that no matter where they are, that they're crazy. I mean, in South America, they do have a lot of passion, and they enjoy... making our hearts race.
Yes.
So they're fun. But in Chile, it's the same way, but all over the world, it depends.
Chile or Chile? What is other?
Chile. I don't know. I always thought that chili was made there.
No, you did
not. Right?
Please don't. Okay. Everyone's asking from each country and different cities, what's next for you for touring, for BSB and solo stuff. So, what do you have? You're on your solo stuff right now.
It's kind of complicated. There's a lot going on.
Okay, so tell us in the next month what's going on.
Okay, in the next month I am preparing a tour in November that's gonna for solo tour. That's gonna go in and start in Canada. I'm still adding dates.
Because you love us.
Because I love you, and I want to. Bigger I get here, the longer I stay, and then I'm gonna go to Japan for about 2 weeks.
And Japan, you did really well. The album did really well in Japan, right?
Yeah, they love us over there. They just like music. They like pop music. So which is really cool.
The album was it released in February, March this year? Like it was released earlier than Canada. How do you choose which country? I've always wondered how artists and their management team decide, okay, which country's going to go first. I know with Backstreet Boys, Europe was really huge, and Canada. And so as Nick Carter, as a solo artist, why Japan and other?
Well, you really do have to think about it, and you go with the territories that you feel that there's fans there. You want to listen to your music, come to your shows, whatever, and you start there, and hopefully the music grows, and then other territories will pick up. But with my solo record, I really didn't have a lot of time because I was on tour with the NKOT BSB, so I really didn't have a lot of time to. And so I was fitting in between rehearsal times and time off, which spanned only maybe like a couple weeks, if that. And so then, but it's all up to me and as well as, promoters, and it's kind of a complicated situation. But
a lot of cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, there is a lot, but for the most part, you try to start somewhere, and those are territories that we've been to, and I know I can go to and grow the album. It's all about getting it out there.
What about your shows? So you're planning on putting these shows together in Canada, and you're planning on your tour. So what can we expect from the shows? Like a lot of will it be stripped back? A lot of acoustic, or no, it'll be bigger?
No, this show I have to kind of, I think, challenge myself and put it over the top and find ways to just make it entertaining and make it a show. And if that's trying to use all my attributes that I can, like try to. If it's dancing, it's a little choreography. If it's a little bit of guitar playing, if it's drumming, if it's, if it's DJing, if whatever it is, for the most part, one of the concepts that in costumes and all that stuff. But I wanted this show to to almost be as if you were coming to a party. Because I go back to Deadmau5 or I go back to David Guetta and all these people, and I see their shows and they're DJs, you know what I mean? But the crowds that they play in front of, and people have such a great time.
They're so passionate there,
yeah,
right?
But it's fun. That's how I want it to be, you
Yeah.
know, like with the lights and everything and costumes and, you know, or like Moby or, you know, people like that. And so I want to really put on an amazing show that's different. So I'm going to push myself to the limit.
Do you have a crew you count on? Like, would you go back to some of the people that you worked with while on tour with BSB? Because you've known them for years.
Maybe.
Or do you like to put your own kind of team together? Like, you've got your go-to people, for sure.
Yeah. There's definitely people that I would and am considering to go back to as far as the tour goes. And then there's also band members that I've known since my first solo tour who I might even put on board. It really is all about for the better of the show and entertainment, you know, entertaining the crowd, because I want to change the perception. Because when I had done my first show with Now or Never, it was great, but it was like really just get on stage, play guitars, put on a t-shirt and whatever. This time it's going to be more of like an elaborate show.
So when you compare Now or Never to this album, what is the difference? And this is actually from Samantha Abbey. How different is your journey from your first solo album to this one? The other one was like 9 years ago. Mm-hmm. But how different is this journey? Are you more in control
right now,
of this one?
No, completely. You know, from the minute that I decided I wanted to record music, it had to be the producers that I had to pick. They had to be passionate about me, right, as well as I was about them. You know, and then they had to also allow me to write and be involved from the writing standpoint. And then once that was done, then the recording of the music, the sounds that went into the record, then I would, who was the person that I picked for my photographer, right, the clothes that I had vision. All of these things were visions that I had, and I go back to the control freak aspect of it, but you're a brand. Nick Carter's a brand, right? And you're a person, but you're a brand, and you have to, like, you're putting out a certain image, right? So, and if you're not in control and someone else is, you know? I mean, you have to. I think I relied a lot off of managers in the past, and nothing. Nothing against the manager that's here. Nothing against the managers and stuff, but it's important, I think, for the artist. Well, for me, because other artists, you know, they can do their career and work it, and it works fine for them. Yeah. But to make sure that everything I got my hands on, you know. And probably growing up, you know what, you probably didn't have a lot of time. Like they told you where to be, where to go, what to do, and now you're thinking, all right, now I'm a man. I know what I need to do and where to go and how to dress. Not to say how to dress, but you know the brand that you want to put out there, and that's what you did with this album. Completely. And I think it was also reintroducing a brand, reintroducing somebody, because the person that I was before was not even this person. How would you say, if you could go back in time and talk to your younger self, what kind of advice would you have given your younger self? My younger self wouldn't have taken the advice. And that's the thing. That's the truth. Most young people won't take advice. They don't want it. Yeah. You know, they think that they know what's best, and I think it's all about chance, luck, circumstances, and I think the want to be different, and I think that was what it was for me. I wanted to change. I was able to look in the mirror and say I didn't like that person. At what point did you do that? At what point did you go? Probably around the show with the House of Carters. You just said, this is not what I want to do. No, I looked at myself, and I'm a good guy, and I have a good heart, mm-hmm. But then there was certain things that I was troubled with, and I had to come to terms with that and figure my way out. Was it just you personally, or did you have like an intervention moment where other family members or friends sat you down and said, Nick? Well, I had some managers and some of the guys in the group, try to, but again, you got to hit a breaking point, right? Where you're at the lowest of low when you go, this is not right. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of breaking points, and from having a doctor telling you that you have cardiomyopathy or heart problems or all these other things. And
how old were you then? You were
25 roughly, so, and anyways, it's like you have these checkpoints, but until you really, really want to change yourself, you won't do it. And sometimes people just stay that way their whole lives. And I think again, I go to that search for knowledge and to want to challenge myself to be different and smarter and better and to grow.
It wasn't working with what you were doing, so you had to change what you were doing to make it work, to make it
completely.
This is from Decal 26. If you could relive one moment in your life, what would it be? I know you said you don't have any regrets, but if maybe there's a moment that you're like, yeah, I could have changed that.
I never changed anything.
No?
No, I don't.
You learn from everything?
I learn from everything. I really do. I feel like I don't know enough. And that's the way I am. And everything that has gotten me to this point, I'm really happy with who I am right now. And
I think we have more questions. So again, questions, iVillage.ca. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. And we are accepting your questions, and it's live. So we just grab clipboards and read your questions live. Unless they are, we have to edit the perverted ones. We just want to, is that okay with you?
Sure.
Nick? Or anything goes? No. More work with Sean Desmond. There's lots asking because Sean Desmond, I know Sean Desmond has a huge following as well. And you guys have, did he not go to your place? Was he not hanging out with you
he did.
in the States for a little while?
No, he came down and hung out with me in Tennessee. I have a house in Tennessee, so we came and chilled, and he wrote some music with me down there. So it was a lot of fun. And then even for the video, he was in the video, so he flew out to California and we hung out shooting the video as well.
So, and do you think you'll do something when you're on tour? Will you bring Sean with you, or when you're in Canada, would he be someone that would open for you, or?
It's definitely it really depends on his schedule too, and talking about all that stuff. But we're that close. I mean, heck yeah, I would be open for anything.
And lots of questions on whether you work with your brother.
Whether or not I will. No, I love my brother, and he is sort of in that discovery mode as well right now, that learning process and trying to figure things out as well.
How old is he now?
He's around 23.
So he's at that age.
24.
Yeah. So, but as siblings, it's hard to. You can't teach your sibling. Your sibling has to go through a certain amount of things.
Well, and that's the thing, it's sometimes it's hard to look at someone and tell if I'm thinking from his perspective, it's hard for him to know who to trust or who, because he wants to figure it out himself. But then at the same time, you also have to think about, who it is that you got to look at the people. I think it's always about leading by example, and I say that all the time. Paying attention to the people you're looking at and saying, this person, wow, this person's doing this and this person's doing that, and then sort of picking it out and who you want to model yourself after.
When
there was people in my life that I, no doubt, if it was Kevin or if it was other people who were, I'm like, I'd rather have a life like that. I'd rather, not necessarily model myself, but it's not like they were telling me what to do, but at the same time they were sort of leading by example again, and so I knew right from wrong, and I was able to say, okay, I want to be like that person.
When you go back to the reality show to House of Carters and the way they edited it, is there ways that you're like, yeah, that was wrong way, but I mean, it's entertainment for sure. All these reality shows, they want the sibling rivalry, they want the chaos, they want the nonsense that goes on with it. Were you ever frustrated? Because your relationship got strained even more because of it?
Well, that's the thing about that show is I went into the show with the mindset of just being sort of
optimistic.
I guess you could say a puppet.
Oh, puppet.
She's like, optimistic. No, yes, of course I came optimistic as well. But I guess I was sort of not looking at it from the creative side or, again, that control side. And that's like when things like that happen and then you say to yourself, wow, well, maybe I should have been in that editing room. Maybe I should have been.
Because you are a control freak, and then you weren't.
Well, I wasn't at that time. I was just like, okay, I'll let everybody else do it, and we'll see what happens. And then all of a sudden, you watch it on TV, and you're like, well, you told me it was going to be a certain way, and it didn't turn out looking that way. Yes, that happened with that show.
So,
that was like a lot of editing issues.
Lots of good times. More questions, of course. This is all brought to you from iVillage.ca and, of course, Facebook and Twitter. Send us your questions. This is from Amy in Florida. What do you think of fans that get tattoos of you? Amy?
It's definitely an interesting subject because I've seen a lot lately.
Really?
And it's crazy.
Is it longer hair,
No,
Nick
but check this out.
Carter,
No,
or is
listen
it-
to this. Listen. Okay.
Is it 1990s Nick Carter? Like I would want this Nick Carter on my arm.
Okay, when they get my face.
What do you think of fans that get tattoos of you? So for sure,
Okay,
face.
well,
What other
'cause-
body part?
well,
Have they
because
seen any
check
other
it-
body part?
No, check this out. There's when you see your face, you're like, wow, that's my face.
On your arm.
And you
Or-
get a little smile, you know what I mean? Wow, that's my face on your leg. That's really cool. And then, but then, okay, yeah. Then when a girl asks you to sign her butt,
Or chest or whatever. Yeah.
and you do it, and then she comes back with a tattoo of your name on her butt.
No, that's happened.
Yeah, me and AJ did that. I got one cheek, he got the other.
Cheek. Okay, I thought you said chick. So one says Nick, one says
AJ.
AJ. I wonder when she gets married, what's going to happen there. Anyway, memorable. Good times.
I'm always gonna remember it.
Exactly. Pink Shades, most memorable live show. This is from, I guess, Amy in Florida too. Does that?
Pink Shades, that's a cool name.
Or is it Pink? Oh yeah.
Most memorable live show.
Maybe you know what?
Probably, well.
No, I was going to say, think about a show where something that went wrong actually it went well though. Like.
I don't really. Okay, well, it was memorable because I fell on my ass, and I tripped over a light, and I don't ever really do that much, and I tried to save myself, and then I made it worse. I don't remember what show that was. I tried to forget it.
That's.
But that was bad, kind of whatever. But a really memorable show was Fenway Park, and that was honestly just so cool. In America, 37, almost 40,000 people. It was really cool.
Cheering and.
Yeah, it was bad. It was badass.
And tonight, of course, when you were performing your show, the most memorable part is probably when you were pouring water again all over your head. I said body, but.
Yeah, I did.
You did do that.
I told them it was a...
Was it a moment, were you having a sexy time moment?
I wasn't really trying to have a sexy time.
No, okay.
I actually kind of forgot the audience was there, and I laid these towels out, and
Did you lie
I
down
got on my
ground?
knees.
Yes, you did. Okay.
And I tried to pour water in my hair because I'm hating my hair right now, and
Why
I
don't
wanted to just wet it because it felt better. I didn't want to look like a blonde Bieber, and I'm trying to grow it out long.
But how long do you want to grow it?
I just
No,
want to let it
don't
grow
worry. I
long.
think women like this.
I
Please
don't know.
tweet
We'll
us
see.
on Facebook.
It'll be
Let us-
kind of long, and I don't know, maybe Jason Stackhouse from True Blood or something like
Okay.
that. Like that type of. And then you like that, right?
Well, sure,
Have
of
you
course.
seen True Blood Young?
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
That's okay. Grow your hair like that, though. No mullets, though, please. No little things like that. Okay, this is from Decal. What is the most common misconception people have about you? Has anyone come up on the street, like someone's grandma or someone's mom, and tried to school you about something, saying Nick Carter? Blah blah
No,
blah
not
blah blah.
really.
But what's the biggest misconception?
About me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think people really. I think they know who I am now, which is great.
Well, I've talked to you a couple times, and I'm not going to say misconceptions, but you were really intelligent on the phone. I didn't want to think but you were really
Well, then there you
you were
go.
really well spoken. You were really and you had it together. And maybe years back, maybe you were short with people, and
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know,
it's hard. You know what it is? It's hard for me to make a comparison because I kind of not forgot about the person that I
Right.
was, but I try to let it go and move to
wash
towards
them
the
off.
future.
Yeah.
So whoever I was before, if you came across my path, and I'm sorry, I'm a different person.
It's a new and improved. Do you ever get nervous on stage? Did you get any?
No, I don't really ever get. I think if you call nerves or adrenaline, yeah, you get a little adrenaline, and that's fun, and but you kind of use that.
I know we talked about a special concoction that you and I both drink if we lose our
Oh,
voices.
I know, right?
So it's not like alcoholic or anything like that for the moms that might be freaking on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that. So if you lose your voice, so you've done cayenne pepper, ginger, lemon, and that's what I do, and I think I'm missing away cayenne pepper, ginger, lemon. I put it in water, and I put it in a crock pot so I can keep drinking it. What's the other ingredient that you put in?
It's
You gonna tell
olive
me?
oil.
Oh, I've done olive oil too, but I've rubbed it like on the back of my throat.
Yeah.
And then you gargle.
Yeah,
Is that what you do?
It's really good. I got a little out of hand because I don't know what it is. I just started liking hot sauce, and I put so much cayenne pepper in my drink during the show, and it just was like, it was really hot.
Well, because especially when you were performing with NKOTB, BSB, you were doing so many shows, you're doing interviews, your voice, I mean, it's your instrument, and if you lose it, people can get medicine and shots, or what is it, cortisone or whatever? It's
Cortisone and steroids.
But a lot of people want to keep it natural because that could also
Exactly.
affect your voice.
I'm all about holistic and natural.
So the ginger thing works. Take it from Nick and I, or just take it from Nick. We have another question, and let's see who this is from. And again, this is brought to you by iVillage.ca, Facebook and Twitter. You can follow us on there. What's the weirdest merch you've seen your face on?
That's funny. I mean, sometimes you see your face on like panties.
Front or back, though? I had to go there.
I don't know.
We'll just leave it.
Yeah.
So it's just on panties.
I think I've seen that in the
Okay.
past, so that's funny. But I mean, you know, the one thing the true thing is that Backstreet Boys have always sort of kept their merchandise. I mean, we didn't want to necessarily do dolls or anything like that. We wanted to kind of keep it a little professional.
That would be a collector's item by now.
I know. We did do action figures that went with Burger King, but that was a comic that I had created with Stan Lee.
Just drop names. He created a comic with Stan Lee.
I know. I'm pretty proud of that.
That's pretty cool. What about any more plans? This is from Danny's My Fave. Any plans to direct more movies?
Yes. And, well, there's our friend again. Movies are, as far as movies go, the acting part is something that is a little hard for me to do because we're so busy with touring and creating albums. So that's why I started writing screenplays. And I'd done this first movie called The Pendant, which was like a 15-minute short film, and I needed, again, to know the ins and outs of everything. So I wrote a screenplay. It was sort of like my student film, and you know, and I casted it, produced it, funded it, did all this stuff to it, and acted in it, and I kind of learned the ins and outs, you know, from the colorist to this sound designer, everything that went into it. So then I felt comfortable. Then I started writing screenplays. So then I wrote this other screenplay, and then I got connected with some screenplay writers out in Hollywood, and then now I'm started telling my stories and doing like having them help me with the screenplay writing, even though I do write in final draft, and so long story short, I want to have 3 screenplays done, and then I want to create some movies, and if I can't act in it, then I'll produce it or
go behind the camera,
direct it or whatever, if I don't have time. So just to get it going, because I really enjoy the arts. It's so much fun to create a world that doesn't exist, or out of your mind, or something that is taboo or whatever.
Yeah.
That's fun to me.
Would you say that those are some things that are on your bucket list? What else could we add to Nick Carter's bucket list of things to do?
I don't know. I want to go.
Have you
I want to go
skydived?
to. I don't know. I don't really want to skydive. I'm not really fond of
Okay.
heights. I know. I'm kind of a wuss when it comes to that.
Have you swam with any sharks?
I'll go great white shark diving.
Would you? Okay.
Yeah.
I won't.
Then
I'll do sand
And then
shark.
they look at me like, "What the hell is wrong with him?"
That you're
He'll go
crazy.
swim with sharks, and then
But you won't go skydiving. Nothing
know.
else on the bucket list that you'd want to?
No, honestly, I want to go. I want to go to like South America and go look for UFOs.
There's lots in the States. What are you talking about?
That's just weird people flying in blimps.
Is it? Okay. But they're all in South America.
Yeah, I want to go.
Do you believe in aliens? Then?
Yeah, I don't. Okay, I don't necessarily believe until I see something. I want to see something. It'd be great.
Yeah.
But I think that there's like you go to Machu Picchu and I want to go on like almost like a little journey. Some places, and maybe go to Egypt or something like that and see that. I've been watching this show called Ancient Aliens.
Oh my God, yes. And you
So
can't.
awesome.
It's crazy. It messes with your mind because
It's great.
we can't just be the only people. Anyway, okay. This is from Jackie Jackie Brown 14. How do you handle the fans wanting to talk to you every day? And I would assume like social media now, they have access to you all the time with Facebook and Twitter, and you're pretty active on Twitter. Like I was following you tonight when you were, here's pictures of me getting ready for my show. Here's,
Yeah,
and you're following us on iVillage, of course.
I don't have a problem with it because, Twitter, it's, you just put out random thoughts and people see it. So it's kind of.
But your thoughts make
crazy.
sense. There's people that put random thoughts out. I won't say which artists because I would offend them. I'm like, what were they thinking?
Yeah, I mean, you know what it is that they're trying too hard.
Right. And
It's
do you do
just-
your own tweets?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You and Lady Gaga?
You gotta look at it. If you see my tweets, you know I do them. Because they're just random.
A lot of artists do that, but you don't. What I like about your Twitter is you're not pushing a lot of stuff. Like it is random thoughts and what you're doing, but you're not. You're promoting yourself, but you're not saying buy my album.
I'll promote an event,
Right.
or I'll say, hey, check out the album. But it's not like I'll keep saying it over and over again. Like
Go download it here.
album's
whatever.
coming out 18th. It's an hour before it's released. Album's out right now. I can't do all that. It's just tedious.
Let us do it for you.
I mean, if they saw it once, they're gonna get it. If they don't want to, then that's fine.
Do you feel like playing anything? Do you feel like, can I convince you to play anything, or just a couple of one of your favorite songs?
I don't
What
know
do
how
you
to
think?
play guitar. You mean?
You can. Well, we talked before, and I said I couldn't play Happy Birthday. Could you do a Happy
No,
Birthday?
I've never
to-
actually played it. Happy birthday
You
to
could sing a cappella.
you. Happy birthday to. Well, wrong key.
Don't ask me to sing or play.
I don't forgot
It's a
it.
good prop.
But I can play some other song.
Okay.
It's so cold in this room, and I'm trapped inside your heart all by myself. Oh yeah, all alone in your sea, and I'm sinking like a ship. I'm going down, girl, I'm going down. And I don't wanna live my life without you. The hardest thing I'd ever do is trying to pick myself up off the ground. That's my song.
That's good.
Try to outrun all the memories when I keep falling down. Yeah, I keep falling down. And then it's like you're still got a hold of me. So it's falling down, but I just
I'm like feeling hot. It's the lights and everything,
Yeah.
So now, we'll go back to the Twitter and Facebook because I'm like, ooh, all right, Nick just played a song. I felt like you were playing it for me though. You've been in the industry for so long. How do you keep yourself from being jaded? And what I want to add is, how do you keep your circle tight, your inner circle? Because like you were just talking about going to Hollywood and giving scripts, but how do you trust people? Like, is it a gut instinct?
I think the older you get, the more you sort of,
the posers.
well, you get to learn characters, and then kind of point them out, and there's like 9 characters in the world, and if you know them all and pay attention to them, there's variations of them,
Right?
And then you can sort of, but really protect yourself, and you don't need necessarily a lot of friends to be cool, or to sometimes just a handful of people is better than 20.
Right. Because they're not your true friends.
Yeah.
How many Facebook
And
friends? How many Facebook friends do you have?
Not well. I got a
lot.
lot of Facebook friends, and I got a lot of
Twitter followers.
I could always use a little more.
Okay, sure. They can follow us and then follow you. And do we have more questions? We have some more questions. Again, iVillage.ca. Send us your questions for Night with Nick Carter. We did a live poll on your hair choices. Blonde all the way. Number 2 is short and spiky, and mullet was last.
Okay, so definitely not the mullet. I wouldn't do the mullet. I mean,
And you're like
I
a
don't
little
think
kid.
it'll ever come back, and no matter how you cut it. No,
Billy
you don't.
Ray can't. I mean, didn't he just try and bring it back again? And
So
I love
did
Billy
they say
Ray.
blonde all the way?
Blonde all the way. So keep it
blonde.
Keep it blonde. Short. Number 2 was short and spiky.
Yeah, it's cool. We should do it even more and get like a vote.
On
But
what
was
you
that
do.
your vote? Did you vote it? So I guess
So
they say blonde all the way.
Blonde is all the way. So that's the way it's going to be.